You are listening to the Drunken Pen Express.
Woo!
We're gonna fuck your butts.
Oh,
Ooh.
with consent.
I probably shouldn't start the episode like that because the last episode we had aired, I think people took it seriously. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Was it a good one? I don't fucking know.
We skipped a week, so I don't.
Yeah,
everything's been wiped clean since then.
For those astute listeners who are freaking out, we didn't have an episode last week. I should probably introduce us first.
Maybe.
And then we'll get into why we didn't have an episode last week. So, I'm your host. My name, Caleb James. I'm a host with the most. I've been doing this for too long. My sidekick here, partner in crime, fuckboy extraordinaire. You don't have broccoli hair, but you could be a fuckboy. You could be a 1980s bully fuckboy. How about that?
Could I just do that version, but just like a beard version?
Yeah, there
just
you
like
go.
Get it like my beard permed.
There you go. Yeah, get your beard all fucking curled up. That guy speaking is Spencer, the Chattanooga Cheese Chugger Church.
Is it at least like melted cheese, or is it? Am I checking?
I would hope.
Like...
Just a wheel. You're just grinding it up. I'll let you choose the cheese. How about that?
Yeah, I would prefer liquid cheese.
So last week we did not have an episode because we didn't fucking feel like it. No, we actually had a very long writing session because Spencer had to finish a story that he was submitting to Starlight Pulp Review, and we took it very seriously. We were like, we're gonna edit this and we're gonna spend 5 hours. We only did a couple sessions, but we got it done. But we felt that was the writing, as the initial conception of this podcast was to supplement the writing. The writing is more important. So if we have to not have an episode 1 week because we're writing something, that is what's going to happen.
And we also have a big backlog of
people
episodes,
listen to old episodes.
You know.
You're not missing out.
Maybe what we could maybe do is like repost an old episode maybe.
See, I was going to either repost an old episode, a remastered episode, or just make a video saying why I didn't have the episode. And I didn't do any of that. I didn't even make a post on the day. I was like, I don't care. And I didn't do it, and I feel fine.
It was like, fuck them.
When you do something every single week since 2018 or something, it gets a little old. So yeah, we didn't have an episode last week, but we got one this week. This was going to be a regular episode, but our regular episode is hitting 200 episodes. I think we're like 400 something if you combine them all, but 200 regular show episodes. We decided maybe we should do not something like special, but we talked about the idea. We flirted with the idea of mentioning some of the guests that have been on the show or people that we just have worked with and bringing up their work and just, being nice about it. Maybe not having a complete shit episode. And then DBS, I don't even know what we're on. So my luck, this is the 200 DBS episode.
It's got to be close. I mean, other than like Book of the Months and like Murakami Minutes,
Yeah, we don't have too many oddball things. Let me look on the old apparatus. Is it apparatus? What's app short for?
Application?
That sounds about right. That sounds better than apparatus. Apparatus makes me think of dildo.
Yeah.
Things that go in your butt. Yeah, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real episodes in a row.
Wow.
Our last DBS episode was 124, so we got some time for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're all right. Apparently we haven't been. Apparently we've been serious.
Oh.
Our last episode was great writing tips from Kurt Vonnegut, so that makes sense why people listen to that.
I say that doesn't sound right though, but it's being serious.
I mean, as serious as we get.
Oh,
yeah. Like Office serious. We're like, oh man, we tell harmless jokes and we say, oh, we're bad.
Yeah, we're bad.
Oh man, we're gonna get called in by HR. No, we'd probably actually get in big trouble if we worked in an office.
We're early 2000s homeless.
Yeah, we're like, dude, I picked up 2 Filipino transgenders. You can't even say the words now. You gotta say transgender. Is it trans?
You might not even be able to say Filipino.
Can I go down a road we shouldn't go down?
Sure.
Transvestite. Rocky Horror Picture Show transvestite is what I'm thinking. Hold on, I lost myself. So Rocky Horror Picture Show transvestite. That was the word.
Yeah.
You don't use it anymore, But I never thought that meant like transgendered. I thought transvestite was like a Frankenstein. Again, from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I always picture like a Frankenstein gender bending person. Not maybe a cross dresser, which I don't think you're allowed to say. That's the thing, though. There still are cross dressers.
Right? Yeah, because there's a difference. There's like people who like to wear.
They don't identify as a different gender. They just like to
wear the clothes and stuff.
Let me look up transvestite, see what happens. Probably put on a. It still comes up on autocorrect. Transvestite is an outdated term primarily used to describe someone who enjoys wearing clothes associated with a different gender. So just like a cross-dresser, which cross-dresser is literally just dressing the opposite of your gender, which I guess I could see is outdated because now it's like everybody just dresses however the fuck they want. But the image is that. That's that guy has a gold or a blue goatee. I kind of like it, but I don't know. So anyway, transvestite outdated, but doesn't mean transgender, which I think at some point in the 2000s they were just like slapping that around like it was an insult. So I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, now that has been established, you're transvestite. Oh no, we're talking about shitty 2000s humor. If you watch like old episodes of The Office, speaking of Office things, they use the R word, just throwing that around willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And calling people gay was like a thing that was just very popular and just.
Well, I've known they they've beeped some of them out now.
Yeah.
Like and then they took out that, I think it was like the second episode of the series where they like have to like, they're wearing, they're doing one of the thing at the party where they have like the, a race on their head and they have to, guess who each other are and stuff like that. I don't like that. They don't even like air that episode anymore. Are we dying?
You're dying.
Why am I dying?
I don't know. You're fucking.
Am I back?
Look at your thing.
I don't know. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Now go back down.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a problem. There were some slurs that were used in the 2000s so willy-nilly that they're even on like PG shows like the Gilmore Girls. Like, I remember Rory Gilmore saying something about helping retards.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. Gay was one. Fairy was one. Obviously, the other F word that I can't say without getting in trouble. And it's funny because when we watch that stuff now, like if I watch an old Gilmore Girls and one of those words just pops up like it's completely harmless, it's like, wow, this must have been one of those like when like we go back and watch something from like the 60s or 70s and they just throw the N-word in. And you're like, Jesus, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, because it's not like you're watching like an old episode of like Rescue Me or something that was out around the same time where you would expect something like that. It's the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Like watching Mary Tyler Moore and she's talking about the fucking colored folk. You're like, dude, what the fuck? You work in a newspaper. Why are you talking like this?
That's aggressive for back then.
Yeah. So that is not I don't know. That's not cool that those things exist. But I don't think you should censor them.
No.
Like I get why they do it, but like if I'm watching The Office, I want to hear that.
Oh yeah.
Because if you get rid of it, just like saying getting rid of the N-word and Huckleberry Finn, then you're not going to be able to know it's fucked up, you know? So you're just eventually going to get to a point where that shit will make a resurgence because people will forget that it's bad because there will be so many generations that just never had it. So you need the reminder of watching Gilmore Girls. I'm like, ooh, man, I was having a good time.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. What else are we doing? Spencer, you're working on a news story. I am editing an old Western I found. And you came over yesterday and I read the whole thing, which was almost 12,000 words.
Yeah.
And I did a little editing on the first couple pages, but we have decided, I already found a place that I want to submit it to. We have decided that I'm going to finish editing to make it better, but as is can be published somewhere.
Oh, yes.
So I think it's a fine story. So it's a fine story that could get published somewhere, and I will be happy. Again, I'm not going to get much money for it because of the length. It's weird once you hit to a certain amount of words, unless you're famous, you can't get these fucking stories anywhere, and the only places that seem to publish these really long stories are places that don't want to pay very much.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, the longer the story, the more I should get paid, right? Hell, around 7,000 words, it goes the opposite. Starts to go down. You find less places and you get less money, and it's hog shit.
Well, and then even imagine that gets amplified when you try to go and probably sell a novel too.
Well, it's weird because once you get the novella territory, the trend goes back because people want novella. They don't want long, short stories, so they don't want stories in that.
They want short novels.
Yeah, around the 10 to 11,000 to 20,000 range. They don't want that, but they do want novellas because those are easier to publish and they're long enough that they could sell it for more. So you could do novellas and then novels. You get a certain length, but usually they say like the Goldilocks zone's like 90 to 100,000 words. Once you go beyond that, they want to make it a series. Make it 3 books. Your one book, make it stretch it out. I want to talk shit about some indie authors, but not on here.
Okay.
Just to talk about stretching fucking books for.
Well, I mean, even on, you could do fucking for mainstream authors, the same, you could probably talk the same garbage,
Oh, yeah, it's bad with the mainstream. I'm just saying the indie authors because I have seen quite a few tales where I'm like, wow, that's a good one book. And then they're like, why are you extending that? Because when you're a traditionally published author, it's your press that's like, hey, we want you to make this a series and we're going to pay you. Makes sense. But when you're an indie author and you tell one good story, but then decide, instead of doing a new thing, I'm just going to keep doing this thing. And I'm going to try to milk it. And that's what I have a problem is when you're milking something and it's not like, oh, same characters, new story, new world, new whatever it is. No, they don't do that. What they do is they just try to extend the original story.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get Vegeta with a mustache. Like you get bad stuff. You get things that you don't want to see.
Right.
You're like, well, this fucking sucks. You know what else sucks?
What?
I'm not going to talk about it because we talked about it off air, but all the movies that are coming out now, not all of them, but a lot of things are terrible. So is that all we've done? Done some writing?
Yeah.
Reading. We haven't really talked about books in a while. I haven't even asked you what you've been reading.
Yeah.
So I have been on a little bit of a kick. So I started Cormac McCarthy's The Border Trilogy. So I read All the Pretty Horses. Great book. Excellent. God damn it. Why did I think it was going to suck? I don't know why. I guess the name. I was like, this isn't going to be that good. No, it was fucking fantastic. So I read that book. And then I'm like, before I go to the crossing, I'm going to take a break and read a couple other easy books. Read The Secret Garden. I was a fan of the movie when I was a little kid from the 90s, and I was like, you know what? This book was written in 1911. They used the word queer 50 times a page.
Oh, wow. But for like strange.
Yeah. Like everybody's
it's
very...
like weird or...
Yeah, all the kids are very queer because they're odd. And it made me think, I like this. And it made me think, I wonder if they did if they had to abridge this, they would just change it to weird.
Yeah,
probably
like weird or odd or peculiar.
But going back to language, the word queer has also reverted back to a less harmless thing. The gays have reclaimed it.
Yeah.
So queer was a slur. It started off as just meaning weird and was used in old fiction as things that are queer. Oh man, that's a queer looking house.
Yeah.
And now. Well, not now, but then it switched to an insult, and then it became a slur, and then it became something you couldn't say, and then it somehow reverted back to being not a term of like an identifier. Like people now are like, "Well, I'm queer," and you're like, "Oh, so if I call you queer, it's not an insult anymore." I guess. Like if I call,
then it also would depend on how you say it, though.
But I think if I was just like fucking queer, like pointing to you, I don't think now. You would really be like, well, what?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be like insulted before where it's like, I'm trying to say you're gay or something.
Yeah.
Try to take your masculinity away. Like, I'm sure still rednecks and shit will take it like that. But as far as mainstream audiences use the word queer, it doesn't have the same annotation it did even 5 years ago. So that seems to be reclaimed. Anyway, they said it a lot in the book, but it was a 5 out of 5. It's in my top 10 now. Ooh. I really enjoyed it because it was like a nice, harmless read, but it was very well written. Which I was texting you when I finished it. It's weird because you asked me, you're like, oh, that's a kid's book, right? And I was like, it's a children's book as how The Hobbit is a children's book. So it's like, yeah, it's a children's book, but if you gave it to a 2025 child of 7 years old, they might have trouble reading it.
Yeah.
The language, because back then, which I agree with, they didn't write books for kids that were like, hey, you're stupid and we're going to dumb this down. No, they wrote it like you're an adult. They maybe didn't use as high of a vocabulary, but the way they wrote, like they didn't.
But it still would have been like proper, and
they had no problem challenging the intelligence of a child. Like they didn't aim down and try to dumb things down. They didn't make children feel worthless and stupid. Whereas now it's like the red ball rolled down the road,
and like I don't know about with that, but like even older stuff, like a lot of like the old like fairy tales and stuff. They were also written in a way to be like warnings to the children too, and then like like lessons, like
Yeah, and there's morality, and there's a lot of things that you don't find in modern children. Of course, I don't read modern children's books, but just from what I've seen, because every once in a while I'll peruse some kids' books just to look, and I'm like, eh. I mean, I'm sure there's some literary children's books still being written, but they're probably not doing very well.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Spencer, and I'm going to be very bold in saying this.
Okay.
I think The Secret Garden is written in a more challenging way than most YA fiction.
Okay. Yeah.
So most young adult books, I feel, are not as tough to read as The Secret Garden. Not that I thought it was a tough read, obviously, but I could see someone going into it who's not a reader being like, oh, this is kind of, what the fuck? Like,
I think the goal a lot of times with like YA, or like what is considered YA now, is purposely to make it a little bit easier. Maybe just focus more like on the storytelling, just to get kids into reading, like that first steps of reading.
But that's the thing, that should be children's books, not fucking young adults. Young adults, I think, of 16 to 27-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the 27's a little, for me, an old man now. I think that's young. Right. But let's say 23 even. Right. 17 to 23, even though most of the YA readers I see are in their 50s.
Right, yeah.
40s and 50s. But I think that as readers, you should be willing to challenge yourself. Even if you don't enjoy challenging fiction, every once in a while, read a fucking hard book. Or what you would consider hard.
Or just something different.
Yeah, so you can level up. But a lot of people just get stuck in, I just want to read dumb stuff.
Well, that was the thing for me for a while. Like, I was just reading, like, mostly just, like, Stephen King books there for a while. And then I started, reading, other things to where it's almost, until recently, like, I hadn't read, like, a Stephen King book in, like, almost a year or two.
Yeah, because you've advanced. Now you're reading literature.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, what were you reading? We'll get back to that. Let me finish my discussion of things that I am reading. So I read The Secret Garden. Excellent. I love The Secret Garden. I recommend everybody read it. I also went back and watched the 93 movie. You want to talk about things that didn't age well? Not the movie itself. It literally starts, the movie starts with a naked 10-year-old girl. Like no shirt on. I'm just like, that can't. And they do it again later, too. I'm like, And then they also, which isn't in the book, they try to shoehorn a little bit of a love thing between two of the 10-year-old characters. And I'm just like, ew. Well, actually, there's a few things. So it's a girl and her cousin, and then a poor kid who, he's a little older. He's supposed to be 12 or 13, whereas the cousins are 10.
That's still weird.
So they try to shoehorn in this weird, like, love angle kind of between the 10-year-old and the 13-year-old. And the way they do it is like they have them looking longingly at each other while they're sitting next to each other on a swing. And it's just like, ew, don't do that. It wasn't in the book. And then also, like, the cousin, he, for some reason, just randomly was like, we should get married to his cousin. She's like, ew, we're cousins. And he's like, so what? And I was just like, oh, that wasn't in the book either. So I don't know what it was in the 90s where they just had to have naked kids and also trying to get kids in romantic, which I don't agree with that now. Like, we talk about, like, CW shows and stuff. It's like, why do you want to see teenagers fucking so much? Like, what is with you fucking creeps out there writing YA books and YA TV shows where you always want to have fucking teenagers kissing? When I was growing up, like, the 80s, if the teenagers were fucking, they got killed.
Well, I was gonna say it's either with the CW or in the YA stuff, it's either they're fucking or they're killing each other.
Yeah,
like the Hunger Games, which is supposed to be one of the better at it, and
I think they're probably fucking. And I'm sure they were fucking in that too.
Probably.
But in the 80s and the early 90s, if the kids were doing things with each other they're not supposed to, Jason cut their heads off.
Right.
Like, then you're bad. You cut choppy. So I don't agree with that. Mainly because it's not that you can't, Romeo and Juliet. Like, you can have teenage love. That's a real thing. But I think it's creepy when 40 and 50-year-old, usually women, are writing about these things and kind of fantasizing about.
That's another thing, because like if there were more men authors doing that, it would be creepy.
Yeah.
But since you said this is like middle-aged women, they get
It's
a pass,
acceptable, yeah.
I guess. Like,
But why are you fucking thinking about that? Gross. So anyway, after The Secret Garden, I started yesterday The Rum Diary by Hunter S. Thompson.
yeah, we picked those up the other week.
Yeah, and I only read like the first 2 chapters, but so far, Hunter S. Thompson just...
Well, you also read the
Screwjack.
Yeah.
That was weird. That was all right, but it was weird. That was like short stories. But that was a very short book. Shouldn't have been $15 or whatever it was. So that's where I'm at. Where are you?
So the last couple books that I've probably mentioned on here, but just to recap them real quick, were We from
Russian guy.
Yeah, old Russian guy. Which was cool, dystopian future kind of thing. And then October Country by Ray Bradbury.
Short story collection.
Yeah, really good. Enjoyed most of the stories in there. And then I read like the first 3 stories of the issue of Starlight Pulp that you were in.
Oh yeah.
But then I also been having the collection that had the Life of Chuck in it from Stephen King.
Yeah.
Because I read that before watching it, so I still had like that book kind of like sitting out looking at me. So I was like, okay, I read like 3 stories of Starlight Pulp. I'm gonna read the first because it's only like 4 like novellas in this. So I was like, I'll read the first story, and then when I get done with that, I'll go back and read a couple more stories of the Starlight Pulp and kind of just bunch back and forth so I don't get like burned out on each either one of them.
Right.
And then normal weekly comics, and then like I'm also been trying to work my way through in the early 2000s they did a run of Iron Fist that was actually pretty good. It's like supposed to be like one of the best like Iron Fist comics, written by Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker. So they put it out like it's in like 2 big like ultimate collections. So like I'm like halfway through the first one of those. So I've been trying to chip away at that, my free time.
Have you ever thought about just abandoning comics altogether and stop reading them?
No.
Because that would save you money and time.
It would save me, it would save money, but I enjoy reading them. Like I enjoy reading them as much as I enjoy reading novels and prose.
I just don't see the hype anymore. Maybe the old stuff. You do read a lot of the older stuff, but the new stuff, I don't know. Man. Anyway, I got a bunch of other stuff to read, but I'm never gonna. Just never gonna get to it.
So are you gonna get back to, once you're done with the Rem Diaries, or are you gonna get back to the second McCarthy book, or are you gonna try to get something else like small one?
Well, it's tough. So I'll probably finish the Run Diary by next week because it's not that long. I have Steinbeck's, I think, first book.
Ooh.
I forget the name of it. Dubious Battle or something maybe. And then I also have Faulkner's Knight's Gambit, which I didn't even know he wrote, collection of short stories that are like crime noir.
Oh.
Like he has like a lawyer guy, detective kind of deal or something.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I kind of want to read that because what the fuck's a Faulkner, Mr. Sound and the Fury noir? Like, what is that like? So that might be something I read. I don't know, maybe both of them, but I do want to get to The Crossing because all the Pretty Horses was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, there's like 3 westerns in a row. Especially since I'm not like a huge western guy, even though I have a story that I'm working on. It is one of those things where it's like I need a break because there's a lot of horse talk. Like a lot of saddles. A lot of fucking... McCarthy knew about horses, I guess.
You talk about chafing a lot?
I thought about like why... Like they would have to be chafing because a lot of times they don't even have saddles. But I guess back then they were just raw down there. I don't know. Just one big callus from ass to taint.
You figure their underwear were probably like 3 inches thick, so they probably didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I would think. So that's where I'm at. And like I said, writing-wise, I'm just editing that story. And I had to finish that one horror story I was working on, but I felt like it. I like literally got maybe a couple paragraphs left.
Well, you've also been kind of busy the past few weeks, too. You haven't had a lot of...
Unfortunately.
And any time you have had, it has been helping me finish my story.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is I have a new story that I want to write, but I want to do these other things to get some submissions out. So on the back burner, I have a story that I'm really excited about. So I got to do some stuff with that eventually. I did a submission last night. I found a weird, I forget the name of it, but it's like an online literary art gallery.
Okay.
So one of the stories I've been having trouble placing, I submitted to them, and they like create art with. I'll have to show you when we get off here. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm not like I want paid for my work and I want it to be in print. But if it's a story I can't place, I'm gonna have to suck it up and just like try to get it in anywhere. But other than that, I haven't. I think I did a few submissions last week or something, but I haven't heard anything from anyone. I did that. Apex had a short 100-word story.
Oh yeah,
remember? So I wrote something for that and submitted it. And I looked because that one actually tells you where you are in line. It hasn't moved since I submitted.
Oh wow!
They haven't gotten to it, obviously, the judge or whatever. I'm like, God damn it! I just want to hear something from somewhere, from someone, from something
at some time.
God darn tootin' fruitin'.
Even if it's bad news, just fucking tell me.
That's the thing. I think I might have got rejected by somebody here. Let me look.
It was just, and that was almost just, God, at least I heard something. Like,
yeah. Well, I got accepted into that Virgo collection. That was a couple weeks ago, I think, or last week or something. Oh, no, yeah, a couple weeks ago I got rejected by, what the fuck is this? Oh, no, that's not rejection. That's we're going to look at your work eventually.
Oh, thanks.
Maybe it was a month ago or something. I think it's October Hill Magazine I submitted a poem to, and they finally, after months and months, they rejected it without reason. So that's it. Nothing. Caleb's just floating. It's probably gonna be one of those deals where all of a sudden I get a bunch of shit at once.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully their acceptance is.
Yeah, but then I don't get to really enjoy it because they all came in on the same day. So I'm just like, oh, which one's the best? Like, what do I focus on here? I will be in, I believe it's coming out in October. Darkcomb Publishing is supposed to be releasing the Ethereal Nightmares trilogy as one collection, and I have an interview that's going to be in there. I have a reading that I did for them that they're probably going to post as promo. And as far as I know, I should be having a short story in that collection, a new one. My Asher Kang story will obviously be in it because I was in the first volume. But also, I think if they still, they stick with it, I will be the only one to have a new story in the collection. So just to make it worthwhile, I kind of upsold myself on that. I was like, hey, I have this story I'm sitting on. It'd be kind of cool to help because, if everybody already bought these these books, why would they buy a collection unless there's some new stuff in it besides interviews? A new story might sell. And I talked myself up and it worked. So that was.
You know what you need is what I have.
Yeah, you need what I got. Give me $1,000. So, yeah, I got that going for me. And so I at least have something for October. Still waiting to hear back on a publication that's coming out in September. And I'm very confident I'll get that. And if I get that, that'll be a magazine for September or book, or I forget what it is.
Nice.
Then Chill Magazine is supposed to be putting out their new theme, I think, this coming week. So I might submit something to that, either if I have something or just write something new, maybe a poem or something. And I really want to get the wife to submit some photography to them.
Ooh.
Because, I was in their last issue, and that was a really fucking cool magazine. Like, it was so well done. So I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to get another one. Depending on the theme, maybe you could write something for them. Yeah. Because, like, a lot of those places, they prefer, like, flash fiction and stuff since it's a magazine. So you can get, can you write a fucking one-page story? Probably.
Yeah.
So hopefully, get some good news and all that stuff.
Or do I have a flash fiction that might fit the theme? Hopefully.
That's what it always is for me. It's like, I hope, I don't know, they posted a picture of fucking roses or something. So it's probably going to be like flowers. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let me look to see if they even updated that because I haven't checked. I don't check on things as often.
We do them live on air, folks.
Live on air, even though the episode's not actually live.
For your enjoyment.
This is for your pleasure. We want you to pleasure yourself listening to the drunken pen writing horseshit stuff. No, that ain't it. That's not it. Hey, that's not it either. I think it was in their stories. So.
It's lost forever.
Yeah, it's gone forever. It doesn't exist anymore. So that was it. Do you have anything else? I don't think so. I don't think we have anything really to update people on other than that. Are you in anything coming out?
I mean, I
in the far future.
Yeah, I don't have any release dates or anything on the thing that's coming out yet.
Most likely October, I think.
Yeah, I hope sometime.
Which I guess is the near future.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be sometime in the fall. Yeah.
Is that the only open submission you have? Well, that was accepted, so that one's not really open. But you didn't submit anything else.
Just the
Starlight. That's
Starlight, and then the.
You probably won't hear from them for fucking 3 months.
Yeah, and then the comic script.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That one you might hear.
Who knows? I mean...
So the thing is,
It's for a Kickstarter, so who really,
Yeah. So anyway, folks, we thank you for listening. You can check us out at DPW Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and Twitter, and wherever else we are. And we probably post things once in a while.
Yeah.
You could follow me at calebjamesk.com, where I will be updating my publishing history at some point. Maybe I'll eventually start throwing shit on there that you can't get anywhere. Then Spencer is OnlyFans. He's down there in Chattanooga, and he is chugging cheese.
Yes.
Cheese,
man.
chugging cheese. Cheddar, Gouda.
Probably just like American or nacho.
It's not cheese.
No.
It's just fucking neon
Yeah.
oils mixed together. Thank you for listening, and we'll check you out next week.